Believe it or not, this thing weighs 55,000 pounds, and they want us to load it flat on its side. So right now it's standing up, and we have the monumental task of flipping it for transportation. Now, in my opinion, this thing's bigger than our trucks. I mean, you can see it in comparison to Hulk, it dwarfs our trucks. That thing looks like it's gonna take up 3 lanes, but I guess that's what permits and pilot cars are for. If you guys are in the industry, I know I got a lot of transport people on the comment section. What is this thing possibly for? Looks like some kind of door or a piece to some kind of press. Either in auto manufacturing or printing or something. Steel bunker secret window door. I jumped up here really quick with Alex, and luckily for me, it's got a lift point right there, one on each end. I'm gonna have Alex sky it high, well, not too high. This guy pulls up from underneath, and that's my cue to rig down here, and he drops a lot of pull with enough space in between us, and then the new trailer backs up underneath. We got to get this thing just right to the inch. In the meantime, he's just parting his lines. Big Flipper has massive 7/8 inch XX IPS lines rated at about like 25,000 each, a single line, which are only as strong as your weakest link, and in this case it's the snatch blocks. They're rated at 30,000 pounds each, so he's technically good for 60,000, 30 on each. But on a lift like this, when you're cutting it that close, one line might have more tension than the other. So to play it safe, you just part the lines, which means you add a snatch block, and now each side, each line turns into 3. Wow, poor Chucky. Where is he at? I think he's dead, fool. Where's the people at? Well, can I move this?
Yeah, I'll move for you.
Okay.
So y'all gonna come around here?
We're gonna have one truck on each side, yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and I posted a video a few months back of this thing that got stuck and it needed a winch out. Alex did it in Big Flipper, and look how huge this thing is. Ridiculous. Well, it gets a little bit tricky. We're pretty much in position to do our thing, but they also want it spun 90 degrees on top of being laid down. By Alex rigging to the top like that, you won't be able to spin it in midair. It'll twist your lines and it's too heavy. So I think the easiest bet is to just lay it down as we were and then re-rig it to spin it once it's laying down. Pretty easy. It's a big shackle.
Huge shackle.
Alright, so Alex is pretty much done with the top. But I just thought of something. Once this thing comes over, the edges are gonna rub up on the straps, and yeah, these platinum strings are very, very strong, but with this edge and this much weight at these angles, I've got an idea. I'm gonna use some duct tape and some Bailey sleeves. Let me tell Alex now. So Alex has a ton of those extra straps that we use for our wide straps. Those doubled up will be perfect.
Home point updated.
So if you could imagine, that thing where he's rigged up to is going to be laid down facing his truck. So I'm going to put a circle here where those straps will come in contact with the edge here. And as I mentioned, these platinum slings are like the toughest on the market, but at the end of the day, it's still a sling and it's prone to cut and damage and tear. So you do this part now to prevent that and protect the straps. Perfect. Ready? Probably come in. Work out your cable, however. Hold it down. You're gonna try forward, so I'm gonna lift it higher. Down. I'm gonna give you a credit on the YouTube video. My new cinematographer. Okay, now cable's in. Dang, that was smooth. I wish the job was done from here, but we still have to, now we gotta turn it 90 degrees. Bye-bye.
We're gonna set it down, offset our trucks, and then spin it around. Yeah.
Hey, how strong do you think our trucks are now that we got it in the air? 25 each?
Give or take.
If your truck's stronger, if you rotate that way, they'll still cross.
They'll cross.
Let's cross it.
Put your head under there. Ask them if they need to put wood.
Want to?
No, I'm asking, do we need to put wood or can we lay it flat? Wood, right?
Yeah, that one when you spin it on it, you're gonna want to spin on the concrete.
Yeah.
So it's on the wood.
Oh, bamofo. There's pieces over there, right? Yeah, I'll get them. All right, sorry.
Well, I hope that looked as cool for you guys as it did for us. See if I can show you what I did right here. Oh, look at all that dust. So I use my Bailey sleeves cut up, and I put it on the inside right here. So that's gonna have the most amount of pressure. And then I put this cut up one on the outside, knowing that this final resting position would have the most amount of tension here. That's it. Just 2 cut up sleeves per side. These platinum slings are good for 40,000 in a vertical, and we got them doubled up. By the way, I gotta show you guys this when it's undone, but you have no idea how huge this shackle is. They come in handy for stuff like this. So we're just waiting on wood from the company. Oh, Alex found some. I thought they were gonna bring it. I'm gonna go help them. We're gonna lay it on wood, re-rig, and spin it. Alex said, screw your forklift. Not bad. Not bad at all. It pays to hit the Pepe's gym every day. Throw your fork.
Yeah.
Damn. Let me land the drone just to save some battery. Just attach and we're gonna re-rig.
Should we offset our trucks?
Well, I don't think it matters from here which direction, right? It's 90 degrees, 90
No.
degrees.
I could pull it forward and offset it a little bit.
That's another idea.
What?
You just rig to opposite directions. I take over your line there, you keep that one, and you do the same here.
Pick it up and then spin. We could do that.
Container where we could swing it between our trucks either. I don't like the shape of it. We do it my way, or we offset the trucks.
Whatever you think. I don't mind. Yeah, I just have to attach to these two. It depends on who takes the front. It's all the only different. Yeah? Okay. What happened?
What you pay for that camera?
That was like $700.
Huh?
It's like 700.
That's the same one they use on bikes too?
No, you're thinking of like this one, like the GoPro. Well, there's a 360 cam.
They got one like that. I think it's like that.
That one's a pocket, but that one's just for handheld. This is like an action cam, so you could put this on your bike or whatever and ride with it.
I know they got one that go on the back of the motorcycle and stick up in the back.
That's a 360 cam. Yeah, I know.
I already know.
You already know.
My cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so this is the re-rig. We got more protectors now since we have different angles. When the lines are crossed, so as we put tension, it's gonna wanna find its balance in between our lines. So this corner is gonna face that corner. We're just gonna turn it 90 degrees pretty much.
Shit. Let me know when you're ready.
Start going in. Go crazy, man. I'll follow you.
Got it?
Come on. Follow the
Yeah, of course.
That was a lot smoother than I did. I thought I'd have to extend even more out. So if you lift up, it can't spin because it's too far.
Yeah, too far in. Yeah.
I didn't think it'd be that control though.
It went slow instead of going whoop. So we obviously went with different choices for protecting the slings. Alex is the perfect right here. And then on my side I use the Bailey sleeves. Did not have to reposition the trucks. It's a very clean two-step process. Hey, can we load it real quick? So I can fix that line?
Ready? We decided to lower it a little bit, just so that line right there, the far side, was starting to tangle, and if we kept it in the air and put more pressure on it, it would tangle further. So got rid of that. All lines great. We're Still waiting on the the trailer. Now check this out. You saw the RGN trailer, we just pulled this off, right? This is the trailer that it's going on. That step deck. I would have thought it'd be like some crazy specialty trailer, like a low bed. So now we just hold position until the guy backs up.
If we ever put it down so I can measure it?
You gonna measure it?
Yeah.
She needs it down.
When we do that, can you
What do you need to measure across?
Long end.
I could help you. That way we don't lower it again. Unless you want it at the bottom. Just short of 14, so 165 inches.
14 feet?
Just below 14.
165 inches. So 13 feet, 9 inches.
Yeah, it's wider this way than the opposite way it was.
Oh, don't worry, gonna be mad at me.
You have to spin it?
Yep.
Yeah, we have to re-rig then and spin it again. Ah, let's put the wood down again.
They measured it wrong, so we got to flip it to the original position it was in. Dude, we would have already been on the way back to the shop. We had it right the first time when we laid it down. I guess they, like I said, measured wrong, so I'm just gonna put it back to where it was. Time's the charm. Ready? Ready? Time to put the drone down. That was fun. That's good. Now from here we just play with the cables and the boom to line it up.
I got 2 feet. And
So that
5
means you have
over there.
63 inches left over. You divide that by half, it's 31 and a half. So that means you should have 31 and a half on each side. And then that should be your center point.
Rotate back a little bit.
Push your head.
More.
Yeah.
So they needed about 31 inches on each side and 2 feet from the end of the trailer.
That mark right there is going to be pretty much in line with the edge.
31 inches? 31
and a half.
31 and a half. Same thing on this end, 31 and a half. A lot of standby time. Alright, now we're lined up front to back.
Got it.
Are we gonna double stack it on the wood? Do they know? Or are they gonna lay it flat?
You gonna lay it flat or what are you gonna do?
No, wood's gonna go underneath it.
Wood, right?
Yeah.
Those same blocks right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave them here, lower it, and then we'll adjust. Ready?
Got it?
Yeah.
Are you right on the edge with the line? Because mine still has to go over towards you a little bit.
Where's the line?
You see right there? I can see it. No, one over. That one.
This has to go here?
That has to go right on the edge.
Alright. Presto! Come on in. Just leave it here and walk around here. Well, that was a fun job. We had it right the exact first time. It would have been once, you know, swift motion. Flip it and then put it right onto the trailer, but we wanted it spun, then wanted it spun back around.
This has to go over a little bit.
Just that side? Yeah, let out tension with that one. You boom up while I extend out.
Huh?
I'm airborne.
Yeah.
And then before we drop it, I want to show this off. This is an 18-ton shackle. These are one of my biggest ones. Look at it compared to this one. That's nuts. Hey, what's the rating on this big one, Alex?
25 tons.
25 tons. It dwarfs my 18-ton. But what's cool about these ones is their wide body. I think we're good. We're just gonna hold it while Alex does some measurements. They need this thing down to like the 1/2 inch.
Come over a bit. Pretty even. I think it's pretty even.
Rotate a little bit towards your back. Hold it right there.
Holding.
Pretty even right there.
I'm not. I gotta come over my way, but 2 inches. Let me boom down, see what happens. Okay. Now I'm even.
Now you're even.
All right, let's de-rig.
Take it off the block.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Prefer the black?
I said, because that way you could put stuff around the bottom, and then it doesn't allow it to slide.
Prevents it from sliding too.
That's what the whole purpose of the wood is. That way it doesn't metal.
What do you guys think? Blocks or no blocks? I'm not a transport company, but I've always been told that on blocks, when you got a load like this. Okay, final decision. They want it on the blocks. We're done here. Let me just put the camera down and we'll get the trucks put away. Show these off every chance I get. Platinum slings, baby. The real deal. Toughest in the industry. Alright guys, big flipper's fully put away. Bolts put away. That job took 3 times longer than what it should have because of all the flip it this way, never mind this way, never mind that way, but we are always happy to oblige. And with that said, peace out guys. Hope you liked all the camera work on this one and see you on the next one. By the way, I wanted to show you guys something. This is the city of Gardena. We have the contract for official police garage, heavy duty division. That's the OPG you guys see. This is what it mainly is compromised of. It's not all glory and big rollovers and box trucks and impounds. That comes with the territory, of course, but this is it. This is the bulk of what OPG is. They call it junk motorhome towing. All these, well, I don't even know what the legal term is now. Houses, domiciles. None of these things run. They're overrun with like feces, and it's crazy when you impound them. You need sanitation to come out there and clear it first because the tanks, you know, the feces will go on the ground and they're usually compromised. So all the stuff blows over. It is very rampant here in Los Angeles County. I'm not saying I have a solution. I just wanted to show you guys that's a huge part of what we do as well. Obviously it doesn't make the YouTube because why would we film that? But I believe they're starting to either crack down on it or something for the upcoming Olympics and the World Series, the World Cup. So we'll see. So once again, peace out, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hey everyone, and thanks for sticking around for Josh's breakdown. So by now you guys are just, used to all the rollovers that post, the car fishing jobs and winch outs and stuff. But truth be told, jobs like this one that we just did are some of my favorites. The thinking that's involved, it's not, a standard like, a container has 4 points at the top, right? But jobs like these specialty jobs where it's like a weird machine or a press or a slab of something that's especially this heavy, 55,000 pounds, this one. It's not something you can cowboy. It's not something you do every day. So my idea was to lift it up in the air so we can rig to the bottom using Hulk. And while it's in the air, all I'm, essentially doing is pulling it away. Now, of course, I simplified that. It's a lot harder than it looks. I know we always joke and everything. We make it look easy. But it was pretty nerve-wracking. Your rigging has to be ridiculously on point and precise for stuff like this. If you do this wrong, that thing goes haywire or it has too much play, whatever. It can shock load your boom. It can turn on you, which will bring the other truck, and it can lead into a domino effect, for failure. And, one of the trucks can flip over, someone can get hurt. Another thing about the rigging I mentioned is you notice I use 100% synthetic straps on this one. Now I use Bailey straps on almost every job we do. But on something like this especially is where they shine. You'll see that, the utmost care we take in protecting our straps. We have the Bailey's urethane sleeves cut up so we can put them on edges like that and use them as edge guards. They're malleable. They're awesome. They're like strong cast, right? You're not going to break those. So they keep your straps protected and the way they ride with whatever you're flipping. So on this case, because of the shape and the design on them, like say an aluminum angle iron, right? It'll roll over it very smooth, and it can adjust as you're rolling things over. So in a case like this, you would, most other people I would say would use a chain. The most common being a 1/2-inch chain. A 1/2-inch chain, grade 10, has a working load limit of 15,000 pounds. 15. And unlike a lot of straps that are built and rated for it with the built-in basket rating, chains don't really have basket ratings. Now, if you're a serious tower, you'll have 5/8 chain, which is a higher working load limit, 22,500 pounds, give or take a little bit. Still not as strong as the slings, but then you also run into the issue of damaging the equipment. This stuff looks brand new, right? So you would scratch it as it runs along the walls, as you rotate and the chain goes like that. That's the beauty of the synthetic stuff, is you don't scratch anything. So realistically, this entire video should have been about 20 minutes long. Once we had it flipped, it was just one continuous smooth motion, and we hovered over the trailer. The guy backs up and we drop it. Maybe adjust it on his bed, left or right, just forward a little bit. That's fine, so give it 25 minutes for the video. But they wanted it spun 90 degrees, and then they messed up and they had to spin it back 90 degrees. Now this part I really like. I mentioned in the beginning of this breakdown that I like these these jobs where you got to think and do stuff, this is an incredibly advanced maneuver. So if you have a rotator with a single truck, right? Let's say you have your boom over the car and your lines are like this, left and right, off the side. So to pick a car straight up, your left line is going to go to the front two wheels and your right line goes to the rear two wheels. So as you lift up, it comes up even. Now if you want to spin the car, you would do it opposite. Your left line would go to the left side of the car and your right line would go to the right side of the car. So remember, your lines are like this, but now you rig like this. So as you lift up, it goes like this and it spins. So that I use that concept here. Alex had the idea of just parking our trucks offset and repositioning. I wanted to do it this way, mainly because I haven't seen something done like that on a scale like this big. And second, it was just the fastest way. Instead of putting the trucks away, outriggers, repositioning, angling it right, I knew we would be able to do it this way. Now the trick is to control the spin. When you have just one truck, like the car that I mentioned, when you gotta turn a car 90 degrees, you can't really do anything to control it. I'm not talking about a tagline to keep it from swaying once it's in the air. I'm talking about once the tires lift off the ground, they're gonna wanna follow the position of the lines. So when you have something like this that's 55,000 pounds, you cannot have that thing swinging on you all janky before it settles. That'll take down both of your trucks. It's just a no-brainer, right? So what I did to counteract that is I extended both of our booms. Well, I extended my boom and then Alex followed by extending 88 Big Flipper's boom, kind of almost over the center of the unit. So not only are we crisscross now, but we're over the center, and with varying amounts of tension, we're kind of forcing it together and placed weird. That's why you hear me, once we got a little bit of airborne and it's kind of slowly turning, I told Alex, boom up, boom up. By booming up, you change the angle, or your boom head, right, is over the center. Now you start booming up and it comes away from the center until it's on the outside. For both of our trucks at the same time, that made that super nice slow turn till it was 90 degrees. But I mean, I'm a rigging nerd. I thought that was super cool. I thought it was smooth. I enjoy things like that. I hope it came across as cool to you guys too. And if you don't know about these concepts or you're not familiar with actual rigging, I hope I'm explaining it properly, because I thought it was a really big deal and pretty cool. So I hope you guys agree. And I mentioned the OPG stuff. Since we do the heavy duty OPG, I should have clarified one thing. When I said this is the bulk of, like, you know, what we do for OPG, I meant what I do for OPG, because we're heavy duty and that's what those medium, those motorhomes would be classified as. Most all other OPGs, which is official police garage again, towers, they do cars, parking on the streets or impounds, DUIs, whatever. So they don't really are familiar too much with that aspect of it, but fun stuff those, I tell you. But I digress. I'll let you guys get back onto your nights, days, whatever you guys are doing from across the globe. Just want to say thank you guys again for watching. Again, almost at 200,000 subscribers. So like and subscribe if you haven't. And peace out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and the breakdown.